I'm going to talk to the 12 semifinalists who still have a chance to become our new Miss Universe, and at the end of each interview, you at home will see that contestant's composite score on your television screen. And of course, you'll be able to tell which semifinalist scored highest in this interview segment of the show. If any of the ladies would like to use an interpreter during your interview, we have a group of experts standing by from the Berlitz Schools of Languages. But remember, the judges will be observing not what the contestant says, but the poise, the personality, and the charm she displays. Now, let's begin with Miss Ireland. Will you come down here to me, please? She is Lorraine Enriquez of Dublin. She's 19 years old. And Lorraine was pretty excited to be called first of all with all those beautiful girls.
Not exciting, terrifying.
But wasn't it a relief to know that you would be one of our 12 semifinalists?
That was a bit.
Yes, and your last name is Enriquez? Or did you change it when you arrived in Mexico?
No, I kept it the same.
How do you explain the fact that Miss Ireland is Miss Enriquez?
Well, my daddy gave it to me.
What, was he Mexican or
No,
Spanish?
No, he's Maltese.
I see. Now, you've had a fine time here in Mexico, I'm sure. When you return to Dublin, how are you going to describe Mexico to your friends?
Out of this world. Fabulous. The beaches are just beautiful. We went to Cancun for 2 days. Beautiful.
Have you seen any leprechauns?
No, I brought 3 with me.
Did you?
Just in case.
I've seen one, but I was drinking tequila at the time.
Oh. What's wrong with Irish whiskey?
Well, maybe I should switch to that. Thank you, Miss Ireland.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for talking with me. Now, when I thank Miss Ireland, the judges begin to press the buttons of the computer. She'll return to her place, and in moments, you at home will see her score. Very well. I want to talk with Miss South Africa. Will you come down here to me, please? This is Margaret Gardner. She lives in Cape Town. She's 18 years old. She's a model, and you have also done some writing, haven't you?
That's true. I've written some poems which have been published.
The poetry you have written
That's
that
right.
has been published?
That's right.
Have you written any stories or articles that have been published?
I've written one short story which I hope to have published when I get back to Cape Town.
Have you thought about doing a story of the pageant?
I definitely have. I've been keeping a diary.
Oh, you have?
I have.
And you're going to write one?
I will. I hope it will be successful.
Well, I hope it will, but please remember, it's Bob, B-O-B, Barker, B-A-R-K-E-R.
I've already written it down in my diary.
Have you?
I have.
With a description. Young,
Quite naturally. Young,
dashing,
good-looking, and poised.
modest.
Yes.
Have you had fun here in Acapulco?
I have. I went parachuting, and I rode in one of those little motorbikes on the sea. I kept falling off, which was unfortunate. But I've had a lovely time.
It's a pleasure to have had the opportunity to talk with you, and good luck.
Thank you very
Miss
much.
South Africa. Our distinguished panel of computer operators is busy at work down here now, and in a moment we'll know the composite score for her. Miss Israel, would you come down to me, please? She is Dorit Jelinek. She lives in Haifa. She's 19 years old. She's a sergeant in the Air Force. And what caused you to decide to enter the Miss Universe pageant?
To tell you the truth, here, I wanted a big vacation from the army, so I'm here.
You mean in order to get a leave from the Army?
A vacation, yeah.
I see. At one time, you see, you had to be crazy to get out of the Army. Now you have to be beautiful to get out of the Army. Is that it?
Is that it?
And it was worth the, I'm sure, the tension that you had to go through. It was worth everything, because you too have had a wonderful time here, have you not?
Oh, I was also in Cancun, and it's very similar to my city. The sun, the sea, the sand. It was nice.
Well, it's nice to have you among our 12 semifinalists, Miss Israel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, of course, you can write these scores down, and you can pick the 5 finalists right along with our judges. Miss Spain, would you come out to me, please? Now, Miss Spain is Guillermina Ruiz. She's from Barcelona. She's 21, and she speaks no English, do you?
Yes, a little bit. If you speak slowly, I can understand you.
You've learned English during
Yes.
I will speak slowly.
Okay.
I will speak distinctly.
Okay.
And we will have our interview in Spanish. I mean, in English.
You're a little bit
Maybe
crazy.
a little Spanish and a little English. How's that?
Okay.
¿Qué hace usted en España?
Good
in
Spanish.
English. In English.
In English?
Please.
And now I am working like a model 3 months ago.
Pero, other than modeling, what else do you do for fun?
For working.
Disfrutarle.
Disfrutarle. I don't understand now.
You don't understand?
No.
Well, to make you laugh, to have fun. What, do you have hobbies?
Yes.
What hobbies?
Photography.
See?
I think it's that. And I like to listen to music very much and dance in the disco.
What are you saying about not speaking English? You speak English very well.
No, you're
Yes,
crazy.
you do.
I speak French better. Thank
See,
you.
this is an educational pageant that we have here. Thank you very much, Miss Fain. Now watch your television screen and you will know the composite score for Miss Spain. And we're ready to talk with Miss Holland. Miss Holland is Karen Gustafson. She's from Rotterdam. She's 21. And what do you do in Holland?
I'm secretary.
Have you heard from your boss since you've been here?
Oh, no, I haven't. It's a pity, but maybe the letters didn't arrive. I'm still waiting.
What are your responsibilities in the office? What do you do?
Well, I do the bookkeeping, and I make coffee and a sandwich, and I do the tea lab. I speak all over the world with people.
Well, maybe your boss is so busy making sandwiches and coffee and keeping the books he doesn't have time to write.
Sometimes he does it for me also.
Someone said that you would like to come out to California for a visit.
Yeah, I would love to.
Why?
Because one of my ideals is to have a ranch with a lot of animals and a lot of nature around. And my country is a very small country, so there's no possibility. And they told me California was a very nice place.
Oh, it is, and you'll feel right at home. And everybody in Beverly Hills wears wooden shoes. and there are windmills all along Rodeo Drive.
And I'm sure I'm coming for a look.
Good. Thank you, Miss Holland. As I said, now, write these scores down and you can be a judge. You can choose the 5 finalists right along with our panel of judges. Let's have a talk, Miss Mexico. She's Alba Margarita Cervera. She's from Merida. And she is 19 years old, and all of us are talking so much about your country and how beautiful it is and how much we've enjoyed our visit. Have you ever visited the United States?
Yes, a couple of times.
What cities have you visited?
Oh, New York, Los Angeles, Old Texas, St. Louis, Missouri, and Bahamas.
What did you think
Las
of the
Vegas.
men in Texas?
The men in Texas?
Yes.
It's just like the men in Mexico, really.
Are they very much like the men in Mexico?
Yes, very.
In what way?
Every way you just dominate and speak loud and you are my woman and that's it.
Is that the way they are here in Mexico?
Yes, almost always. they are
Muy
that way.
macho.
Muy macho.
Yes. But no one has said you are my woman to you as yet. You don't have a serious romance, do you?
Well, so. No, not yet.
Not yet. You will soon, I predict. Thank you, Miss Mexico. You come out to me now, Miss Sweden. Will you please come right down here? She is Celia Rhoda of Gothenburg. She's 17 years old, and she has just finished school. And what are your plans?
My plans is to go to New York for modeling, and to traveling, to try to come out and see different kind of arts and people, and to learn as much language as I can.
Very good. Now, you heard my conversation with Miss Mexico about the men in Texas. Tell me, have you met any men here in Mexico?
Well, actually I have. I met one, he has green eyes, he's beautiful, his name is Jorge. He's 5 ye's and he's my chaperone's son. So
He's
cute.
5 years old?
Oh, yeah. He's so cute.
Maybe if you become Miss Universe, he can be your escort. He's a little short, but he's probably a fine dancer.
Yes, they're the best, you know, the smallest, I don't say so much.
Thank you very much. Miss Sweden. We'll wait for a moment for Miss Sweden's composite score. And talk with Miss USA. Miss USA is Judy Anderson. She's from Honolulu. She's 20 years old, and she was crowned on April 29th in Charleston, South Carolina. And since then, I have been told you have visited the White House in Washington, D.C.
Yes, I have. And I got to meet Jimmy Carter, and it was excellent. He's really nice.
You met President Carter?
Yes.
What did you talk about?
Well, he told me he'll never judge a pageant again because he made so many enemies.
He was the judge of a pageant?
A Miss Georgia pageant.
I see.
Yeah.
He probably thought judging pageants was tough until he became president of the United States.
I think so.
What about Amy? Do you suppose she might be watching tonight?
She is going to be watching.
Is she really?
Yes.
Does she watch beauty pageants?
All the time.
Good for her. Amy, maybe you'll be here with us in 1988, but your father cannot be a judge, can he?
No.
Miss USA, I hope you have fun here in Mexico.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The judges are punching away at the buttons now. We wait for a moment and continue with Miss Columbia. Miss Columbia, would you join me out here? She is Shirley Sáenz. She's from Bogota. She's 18. And Shirley, do you remember the first meeting we had here in Acapulco?
Yes, I do.
Where were we?
We were in the elevator.
And what did you say?
I said, Bob, I admire you.
No,
and the best phrase I like is come on down, and you didn't call it.
You said, come on down, Bob Barker. And I asked you how in the world you had seen The Price is Right, which is something that we say on The Price is Right. Come on down. What did you tell me then? You had lived in the United States
for
5 years?
Oh, yes. I told you I lived in 5 years in L.A., and I had the chance to learn the English because I finished my grammar school and my junior high there.
Now you're living in Colombia, and is your family going to watch the pageant?
They sure are.
Who will be watching? How many?
Well, around 50 people.
In your family?
Well, my family, my friends, and in 50 people in my family, my friends, and all of my country.
I think that's marvelous. I hope it's a Nielsen home. Thank you very much, Miss Columbia. Now, after this composite score, I believe we're going to use our interpreter, unless Miss Belgium has learned an awful lot of English. Miss Belgium, out here, please. Miss Spain surprised me when she spoke English with me. Miss Belgium here is Francois Moons. She's from Brussels. She's 18, and the interpreter didn't even wait. I guess you do want an interpreter, do you not?
This best.
Very well. Why don't you ask her if she's learned any Spanish?
Est-ce que vous avez appris
Would you just step back a bit so they can still see her face? That's fine.
Est-ce que vous avez appris un peu l'espagnol?
Sí, un poquito.
Dígame algo en español. Say something in Spanish. Tell her to say something.
Dites quelque chose en espagnol.
Guadalajara.
Guadalajara? That's very good. Very good. I'm going to teach her more Spanish. Acapulco?
Yes.
Say Acapulco.
Acapulco.
Chihuahua?
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua? Yeah, she speaks beautiful Spanish. How about English? Ask her if she speaks if she says anything in English.
Vous pouvez dire quelque chose en anglais?
Good luck.
Can you say Anaheim?
No.
Anaheim.
Henaim.
Azusa?
Azusa.
And Cucamonga. You've done very well with your English and your Spanish. Thank you very much, Miss Belgium. Thank you. You see, she's learned both English and Spanish and been a very busy girl at the same time with all the rehearsals. Miss Peru. Miss Peru is Olga Sumaran of Lima. She's 19 and a beautiful representative of her country. And of course I beg your pardon?
I want to speak English.
You want an interpreter?
No.
You and I will speak English or not?
No.
No?
No.
¿Quiere hablar en español?
Sí.
Por favor. Ask her, we have a lot of beautiful prizes for her if she wins as Miss Universe. Ask her what she won when she became Miss Peru.
En este certamen hay muchos premios muy bonitos. ¿Qué fue lo que ganaste cuando ganaste el certamen de Miss Perú?
Una casa.
A house.
She won a house? Sounds as if she knows more about The Price is Right than some of the others. What is she doing? What is she going to do with her house?
¿Y qué vas a hacer con tu casa?
Bueno, voy a vivir en ella después.
She's going to live in that house.
She's going to live in it? As a new homeowner, ask her what she thinks of Proposition 13. No, don't. She would never understand that. No. Proposition 13, she would not know. No, that was for a friend of mine back in California. No, she would not understand that. Tell her that she's a beautiful, beautiful girl, and I wish her well.
Eres una chica muy, muy hermosa y te desea suerte.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted. Proposition 13 for our Mexican audience, English-speaking, is getting a great deal of publicity in the United States. And I couldn't resist throwing that in when she became a homeowner. May I have our next beauty delegate out here, Miss Chile. Mary Ann Mueller, she's from Santiago. She's 18, and you speak English, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And what are your plans for the future?
Well, I'd like to be a good journalist and a better model, and maybe a good mother too someday.
If you're interested in journalism, you have come to the right place. You have been interviewed every place you've gone, haven't you?
Yes, and I'm a little disappointed about that career after all this contest.
Are you really? You think it's more
bit.
fun to ask the questions or to answer them?
To ask them, I think.
Well, when you go back and continue your studies, perhaps one day we'll look out here among the journalists, and there you'll be, all ready to interview one of the beauty delegates.
Probably.
Where did you learn English?
At school and with friends.
You do very well. And thank you for chatting with me, Miss Chile. There's our last composite score. You've met our 12 semifinalists, and you've seen how the judges rated them on their interviews. Who do you think will be Miss Universe of 1978?
Well, our supercomputer has now given us the judges' composite scores for all 12 semifinalists in the interview segment. Let's see who's ahead at this stage of the competition. What's it look like, Corinna?
Well, a perfect composite score is 9.9. And look, Miss Gesane is doing beautiful with 8.155. And pretty close is Miss Sweden with 7.518. And then
South Africa's not far behind.
South Africa is a little bit further behind.
Thank you very much, Don. We'll continue to use the electronic scoring system right up until the 5 finalists are chosen. And that means you'll see instant composite scores in the swimsuit and evening gown competitions. And you can keep track of the judges' scores every step of the way. So if you're writing down the scores as you see them, you'll actually be able to pick the 5 finalists before Bob Barker announces their names from the stage. One thing's for sure, it's going to get more exciting emotionally and electronically as we go along. And we'll be right back after this message from Downey.